Welcome back. If you're like me and lots of other people, you suffer from skin problems when the cold weather comes. It's not uncommon. Amanda Manholt joining us from London Drugs to talk a little bit more about some of the options for people like this.
Yeah, you know what? Apparently winter is here. Right?
Apparently.
Like it's not leaving, right? I can...
You know, one could hope some of this will melt over the weekend, but 5-6 degrees, we'll see. I think we're into it now.
And it's going to be a long one. And for most people, or a lot of people, dry skin is something that comes with the change in the weather. And part of that is, well, first of all, we live in Kamloops. So as you know, we're super dry. Super dry. Didn't you say we were like Phoenix or something?
Yeah, we are. We are Phoenix North, really, when it comes to the dryness. Yeah. Absolutely.
So when you add cold Arctic front, it makes that dryness even more intense. Then most of us are heating our homes, we're heating our vehicles, we're heating our offices, so that forced air is another mitigating factor. And the other thing our skin does not like is when we are outside in a cold temperature and we come inside to an extreme warm temperature. There's a whole lot of things that just make it worse. And it was funny, I was at my doctor last week and he asked me for some recommendations for his patients because what he's seeing a lot of are fissures. And by fissures, I mean little cracks, openings on fingertips commonly and on heels. And I know you suffer a little bit sometimes.
I do.
It can be one of the other side effects from eczema, but you don't have to have eczema to get fissures. Okay. And I see a lot of people come in and it just looks so incredibly painful.
Yes.
So their fingertips are basically cracked open. Yeah. Very, very common. And really, what do, right? What you don't want to do is put any kind of cream on there that has any perfume in it. So this is the time to take your, your rosy, coconutty, whatever that you like in the summer and put it back in the cupboard. You don't want to use that, it'll sting. Yes. So luckily, we have some really great brands down at London Drugs. As it happens, they're all French pharmaceutical brands. Just on a little side note, if you were living in Europe and you were looking for any of these products, you wouldn't find them anywhere near where lipstick is sold. They're actually sold in the pharmacy.
Why is that? Why do we make that choice to have ours with the cosmetics?
It would be something to do with Health Canada requirements, that sort of thing. But it's great. I love it because it gives me a chance to learn all about them. We all have extensive training in my department, and then we redo that training every spring and fall. And it gives me a chance to help people. So what I brought today are 3 products, La Roche-Posay, Avène, and Bioderma. So again, all French pharmaceutical lines. And oddly enough, they all start with C-I-C-A in the name. And I Googled it. I tried to figure out if it meant something, but...
Does it?
I couldn't find it.
No. Interesting,
Stay tuned. Yeah. So La Roche-Posay has the Cicaplast Balm B5. Avène has called Cicalfate, and Bioderma is called Bio.
There's got to be something to that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm not that smart. So any of these can be used for, basically think of any time your skin is open. So they're great for cuts, scratches. You can use them after having a tattoo, even burns, diaper rash, or post-surgical procedures, but they really are fantastic for applying to the fingertips when the skin is broken open. Okay. And you want to put them on at least twice a day. At night, ideally, if you can stand it, put those little cotton gloves on. Because it'll keep the cream in place. So these creams, they're all hypoallergenic, they're all fragrance free, so they're not going to sting, they won't hurt you when you put them on. But their goal really primarily is to hydrate, soothe the discomfort, and speed up the healing process. They also have natural antibacterial things in them like copper and zinc. So they feel really great. And the same thing can be used on heels too. What is it that is in these particular brands, or not brands, but I mean, I've used La Roche-Posay. This stuff rocks. It rocks my world. I have eczema. I'm going to zoom in. See that little dryness there? Yeah. Let's not get too close. I don't want to scare people away. It's the lunch hour. This has worked for me beautifully. However, this particular brand, whatever I'm trying to say, type of lotion with this company, I've not used. So what's in this that wouldn't be in the regular La Roche-Posay? This one has panthenol and madecassoside, and so they're going to be more antibacterial. The other one that you're familiar with is more for itchy skin. So there's Lipicar Balm AP+. There's just so many things that can happen in terms of dry skin. So if you might not have the cracks or the fissures, but you might be really itchy. Yes. And that's not good either, because you know what? You don't get good proper sleep. I've seen seniors in particular where it's awful because their skin is papery and they scratch in the middle of the night and then they've broken the skin and then you open yourself up for risk of infection. Infants, kids, they don't sleep because the little babies that are born with eczema are scratching all night long. The parents don't sleep, the kids don't sleep. I tell you, if I don't sleep, It's not a happy
Watch
day.
out.
No, it's
I know.
not good.
Me too.
So really dry skin, it sounds like kind of, oh yeah, dry skin, whatever, but
It can lead to other things.
Yeah, it can affect your quality of life.
Dr. Lewis in town, dermatologist, he gave me a great tip, like whether you're using this or whatever, the best way to get into those fissures and cracks, take a toothpick and take some of that ointment and get right into the divot.
That's
like put it right in between.
Pack it
right
in there.
Yes, and that, honestly, for me, when I've had cracks, it really does work.
Yeah.
It really does.
And you know, prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? So again, if you know that winter's coming, winter is coming, I sound like that TV show, moisturize. And you know, hopefully you can get to it before it gets to the point that it cracks. And again, feet, we have the same thing with heels too.
Yes.
So when you have open skin on your heels is not the time to be putting something with urea or lactic acid or any of those sloughing creams. It's you got to heal it first.
Sure.
So anyways, any problems with your fingers, your feet, come and see me.
Are there huge differences between these three different types, or would you recommend one over the other?
It depends. I'm sure if you talk to the brands, they all have their points of difference. A lot of them are thermal water based. Some of them are more geared for soothing. Some of them are more for fortifying the skin. At the end of the day, we've got lots of great choices.
Yes, all right.
Yeah.
Any questions about skin dryness, problems with it, certainly go down to see Amanda. She is well versed in the ways of eczema and other ailments that come out of being cold in the winter. It's hard on our skin, let's face it. Information on the screen as well, londondrugs.com, but you can go and visit her down at Lansdowne Village, of course. We'll be right back. Stay with us.